The definition of conflict is a competitive or opposing action of incompatibles. A competitive or opposing action of incompatibles. Taking things from an objective point of view. How do we manage conflict? How do we resolve it? Number one, I want you to flip it. I want you to do and find the opposite. So, for example, if you find that someone is completely judgmental, I know this one's a reach, but come with me on the journey. If they're judgmental, then aren't they observant? I know. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. We're on a new. We're stretching comfort zone. We're exploring new planets here. But find the flip for it. They ask too many questions during conference calls. Well, they have a lot of passion. They care about what they do. They're very inquisitive in nature. They want to make certain that they're doing their job proper. Number two, I want you to play a game. What if you're getting this feedback from someone that you like? So if you don't like your boss, you don't like a particular colleague, you have a problem with a certain individual, what if you changed your mindset and said, during this meeting, I'm going to act as if I'm sitting across from my best friend, from someone that I do value and respect, from someone that I do appreciate, and I would ask for their counsel. So reverse it, play make-believe. Number three, I want you to ask yourself some questions. I want you to do your own reflection. I want you to ask yourself, how do I feel when I'm thinking about this conflict? And is it absolutely true that my way is the right way? Because when we talk about that competitive and opposing action that's incompatible, a lot of it is just that, our judgment, and where's our flexibility? Maybe just asking ourselves that question of what would it take if I didn't think that way? What would it take if I thought differently? If I showed a little bit of flexibility on my end? That would be number three. Show some flexibility. Ask yourself, do I need to think this thought? Could I be a little bit more flexible within this? Number four, and this one sometimes is a doozy, because if we're playing make-believe and we're doing our own internal thoughts, sometimes we just need to address the conflict. Sometimes we need to address that individual. And I love to start off with this. Hey, do you have a moment? And this is where the butterflies come into play, because it's a stretch of our comfort zone. We're gonna say, I'm going to embrace this. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna ask. I'm coming face to face with it. And when we do that, it's just asking the question. And more often than not, the other individual's not expecting it. So that puts you in a little bit of a power play, but we wanna think not of that power play moment. We truly wanna say, okay, are we all right? I'm just noticing a difference of communication. And here's a great sentence to do. When you do, insert what they do. It makes me feel, insert how you feel. And I wish you'd do instead. So it's just a great way to, if you're addressing a specific element. Otherwise, hey, do you have a second? I've just noticed that things seem different lately. I want to make certain that I didn't do anything to offend. See how we're putting the onus on ourselves? Isn't it great? We're embracing conflict. And then finally, we've got to refrain from going around the water cooler. And that's the bigger one. Our friends will even notice that we stop commenting. Hey, what are you thinking? Come on, tell us what happened. Because typically we're running very quickly to go and then to share our adventures in that diabolical world of conflict, are we not? So refrain from the water cooler. Play make-believe and do some self-reflection, because it truly does, when we start embracing conflict, we find that it's not uncomfortable. We don't want to call it a conflict at all. We can say that it might be a divergent, but we'll also see it as an opportunity, and we'll see it as what it truly is. An opportunity for our own self-growth, an opportunity to increase communications, an opportunity to identify patterns that may impact our client experience. And that is my wish for you. My wish for you is to find strength within your communication and your leadership styles so that you can find synergies amongst your team, productivity amongst your team, and a sustainable path to client engagement.